for quick.
Okay.
Okay, so how does it start? You guys write the music and then Brett writes the lyrics? Can you hear me at all? Yes. Okay, let's just making sure.
We actually all write the lyrics.
Okay, so, but how does it start? Like, do you have a certain formula?
Well, Allison made some MIDIs on her computer with a MIDI keyboard, and she wrote like all the music and the melodies, and then we listened to the MIDIs and like kind of made up our parts around that, and we would get together and write all the lyrics together. I mean, sometimes there would be one person that had an idea for a song, and then we'd bring that to the table and like, you know, work off of that.
What if somebody's like, no, I hate that, but the rest of you are like, no, seriously, I want it?
Oh,
It's
that
never
doesn't.
a hate.
Yeah.
Nobody ever hates anything usually.
It doesn't usually come to that, actually.
If
I mean,
you don't like something, you might just say like, well, we already did that, or I don't know, maybe what about that, but more like this. We're really into that angle. That like that's cool, but how?
way around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we want to incorporate. If somebody wants something and nobody else does, we could still try to find a way for them to be happy without it being exactly like what their original idea was. You know what I mean? Like we all try to do that for each other, and you know, because you want, and for us, it's important to have an element of everybody in everything. You know.
Yeah, like you said, when Tori was missing in the studio for the drums, it was like didn't feel the same, and then you finally came back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we know what we are missing.
Exactly, and you do bring an original thing
thank
to
you.
it.
Well, I think luckily, I mean, it doesn't really come to that often. I mean, I feel like usually we're all on the same page musically, and I think that that's something that we're really lucky that we found as a band, because not every band has that, which is really, it's nice.
Also, like after the songs go through like the distillation process of 4 people, they are really precise and like really good. After, you know, if all 4 of us like something, it's usually pretty awesome.
Right. Now, what I found with this CD as a paired, what the fuck, is that a word? Opposed. As a paired.
It's a word now.
As a paired, yeah, it's a Donna word. As a paired to the other CDs, what I found was you were singing more instead of, I want to take a drink. You know, like it was like you were kind of doing that, and all of a sudden now you're singing more.
That's awesome.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I feel like I was trying to sort of work some new stuff into.
Yeah. Well, I heard I like it. I like the attitude and stuff that you put into it and stuff, but I also like that you're kind of singing more instead of sing-songy.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think the lyrics and the melodies that I was working with really lent themselves to that.
And what I also noticed was it sounded really produced well. So where'd you guys get it? Oh yeah, the sound quality is kick. And when the bass comes in, it's like,
Yeah, I really like how my bass sounds on it.
Yeah.
Finally, yeah, it took a long time to sound.
Because the last couple was like sounded okay, but this one it's like, okay, it sounds like you guys had some money behind this one.
That's a weird thing though. It was not money at all. It was time. And people. Like, we worked with this guy, Jay Rustin, in his garage. Like, literally, it's a garage studio. It's really nice. Well, I mean, you know, garage is like not a great word for it, but, like, technically it's his garage that he converted. And he's just, like, really on the same page and, like, got all our references and everything, so he really knew what we were looking for. And he knew how to get a big sound out of not a big space.
He did. It sounds so full.
Well, the drums also were recorded in good studios. But we just did them quickly. And, you know, we were efficient.
We also thought we might have to redo everything. We thought maybe some of the stuff was demo material. Maybe we'd go back and redo it. So we made it sound as good as possible, but we weren't sure that these were final, you know, tracks. So the fact that they came out that well, it was kind of like, well, they sound great. Why would we want to redo them? You know?
And it's hard to get a good sound on, like, is it frustrating, like, when you record your drums? Because I've recorded drums, or I've tried to, and it sounds like I'm hitting a couple of cardboard boxes and you know, far off in the distance. So, like, when you play, do you play, like, every drum live and then overdub stuff, or how does that work?
Oh, no, I play the whole beat live. And
you have to listen to a click track, right?
Yes, which is insane. I love the click, though, and we're even playing to the click live. It's totally like,
really?
That I just love it.
You were telling me about that when I interviewed you last time.
Yeah, because I feel like, you know, we've done it for the past few records, and I just really, for whatever reason, I feel more comfortable playing to it, because you can be a little on top of it or a little behind it. It's not like you have to be like super like crazy to it.
And most people only use clicks if they've got samples or whatever going on in the background.
Well, I think it's a really nice way.
Well, you know, we do. We don't really play our instruments.
All these Pro Tools vocals, because you're girls.
You know.
We're just miming the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
They're gonna pull up the curtains. We're gonna pull up the curtain someday, and there's gonna be a whole band of dudes playing all our parts.
People still think that? Do you think that's still a generalization?
People
Maybe
have
not that
asked
extreme,
us.
but
People have
I think
asked
people
us.
thought somebody else played the solos or somebody else played the drums, or
Brought in a studio musician.
Yes,
Or
yes.
that
Yeah.
there are extra like vocal backing tracks, like the backing vocals maybe.
Oh, somebody.
Which is funny 'cause everybody does that.
Guitars, like that. We had a track of extra guitars, but that's so funny because it's just like,
Wow.
People do that. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no,
People
they
do.
don't.
Tori and
And
I saw
people
Exodus.
sing through how many
Yeah.
freaking auto tuners to get
that
it out
was
to the
crazy.
stage? Yeah.
Tori and I saw Exodus play, and we were watching him play this one drum part, and this arm came from
Nowhere.
and started playing the hi-hat. We're like, whose arm is that?
It was really
Three-arm drummer from Exodus.
And that was a long time ago, and nowadays it's even crazier with
yeah,
like Pro
they've
Tools
got
and stuff.
yeah, they got Pro Tool.
I mean, you have to compete with that. That's like it's
Exactly.
almost like all the big stars and the big people that most people have heard of that are on the radio. Those people all are playing to tracks, so it's like the bands that aren't playing to tracks sound worse than they do. But